Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Morton Plant Mease Healthcare Foundation's 2019 annual meeting. I'm Earl Cooper, chairman of the foundation. Tonight, we're meeting to tell you about the successful year the foundation has had, say thank you to the board members completing their terms, elect new board members, pass the gavel to our new chair, present awards to some very special doctors, recognize special members of our foundation, honor our Golden Flame Philanthropy recipients, and celebrate our area's deep sense of community. I'm proud to tell you that Ernestine Morgan, our foundation's CEO, will report to you that our community opened their hearts and pocketbooks in 2018, and the foundation had its best fundraising net year ever. That's something that can only happen when our community understands the importance of having hospitals locally that can provide extraordinary care. That extraordinary care is provided by the entire team of doctors, nurses, technicians, and administrators. Thanks to you and our community, the foundation granted 40 requests to our hospitals to provide support for capital projects, leading-edge technology and equipment, scholarships to provide advanced training for our nurses, and many other programs that give our community the quality health care that they deserve. This event is hosted by the Foundation's Board of Directors. Our board is an all-volunteer group. We're fortunate to have so many local businessmen and women, philanthropists, doctors, that are invested in the health needs of our community, both financially and with hours of their time each month. Board members, please stand so that you can be recognized. Thank you all for attending and your continued giving and being a member of the foundation. Now let's all stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated. Please welcome Chaplain Mayanne Hill, Pastoral Care Coordinator for Morton Plant Mease.
Good evening. I am grateful to represent our pastoral care department, and thank you for all you do. And it's easy to quantify what you do and what we're going to do tonight, but I have the opportunity as the pastoral care coordinator and lead chaplain at Morton Plant Hospital to actually hear the stories of people who are affected by what you do. In fact, in the last few weeks, I've had an opportunity to hear people who have driven 60 miles to receive special procedures at our hospitals. And so, again, I'd like to thank you. And in that thanks, I'd like to say a prayer to honor this event. Let us bow. Holy One, we are grateful for this evening to celebrate a group of people who have invested so heavily in this community. We are grateful for the innovation that has changed and extended life. We are grateful for the serene centers of healing that provide a refuge in the midst of difficult illness. We are grateful for the lights of inspiration and hope that leave Morton Plant Mease better, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. May all the blessings of giving continue to bring forth a better Tampa Bay community. We pray this in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Mayanne. I want to give a special thank you to our gracious benefactors. If all the benefactors in the room would please stand. And we also want to thank our newest benefactors, Dr. Karen and Pallavi Patel. They here? Also, David and Nancy Bilheimer. Tonight, we give a special thanks to Russ Kimball and his Sheraton Sand Key Resort. Our annual meetings wouldn't be the same without him and his support. Thank you, Russ. We also thank our sponsors who are listed in your program and on the screens on the right and left here. In our audience, we have several public officials with us this evening. Please stand and be recognized. And now for this fantastic year, we all owe a big round of applause for our foundation team. Foundation team, please stand. Come on, we can do better than that. They do a great job every year, but this past year, what an exceptional job you did. Thank you again. Please enjoy your salads as we continue with our program. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Gay Lancaster, Chair of the Morton Plant Mease Health System Board. She's going to update us on the hospital's changes and accomplishments.
Thank you, Earl. I appreciate the introduction, and it's a joy to be here this evening because this really is a celebration. It's an evening of recognition and celebration because we're honoring those who exemplify excellence in our healthcare system, as well as those who invest in it. And we thank you all for that. You provide an important contribution to our community, and we value, as patients, as community members, the service that we're all able to provide. I'd like to tell you that I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about the state of the system this evening, but I won't spend a lot of time. It's been a year of growth and change for Morton Plant Mease Healthcare, and I want to initially thank the health system and Baycare board members who are in attendance, and I'd like you all to stand if you would be so kind. If I may speak for my fellow board members, it is our pleasure and our honor to serve, and we appreciate that opportunity to be of service to the community. I'd like to recognize and thank the hospital presidents for their extraordinary leadership this past year and ask them to stand as well. Thank you all. I'm going to highlight a few of the key changes that have occurred within the Morton Plant Mease healthcare system over the past year, but I'm going to be quick about it because I know this is a time you want to enjoy dinner with your friends and get on to the real elements of the evening. The first important change that I want to mention is that in November, Lou Galdieri was named president of Morton Plant Mease of Morton Plant Hospital and market leader of the entire West region, which includes all 4 hospitals, Morton Plant, Mease Countryside, Mease Dunedin, and North Bay. And we congratulate Lou and we welcome him with open arms to Morton Plant. Lou is a member of the family, having left service at Mease Healthcare, and we are just delighted that he is at the helm at Morton Plant. We appreciate your continued leadership, Lou, and look forward to working with you through the next year. Also, we have a change in the addition of Matt Novak. Matt has come back home after spending 15 years with Morton Plant and serving a brief stint, or not too brief, but St. Joseph South in over there on the other side of the bay. Welcome back to this side of the bay, Matt, and we're happy to have you. Matt will be serving as president of the Mises. And we also welcome Rebecca Skolkowski, who has been named Director of Operations for Mease Countryside and Mease Dunedin Hospitals. with more than 16 years of leadership in clinical and administrative areas. Most recently, Rebecca served as the Surgical Services Director at St. Anthony's Hospital. I also want to celebrate the Morton Plant Structural Heart Care at Morgan Heart Hospital. Larry Morgan is here. I know you're here somewhere, Larry, because I saw you. Hi. You want to stand and be recognized or sit and be recognized? He's sitting. The doctors at Morton Plant Hospital continue to build on their reputation as healthcare leaders as they became the first in Tampa Bay area to perform 1,000 transcatheter aortic valve replacement procedures, TAVR procedures, since 2012. And since that time, hundreds of patients have enjoyed this surgery, which is greatly improving their outcomes. It's just been an amazing change in the lives of severe heart patients who wouldn't ordinarily be able to have a quality of life that they do now. After that 1,000th TAVR procedure, on June 28th, Morton Plant Heart Team became the first in Florida to treat a patient in the Apollo transcatheter mitral valve replacement pivotal trial. And this is a minimally invasive alternative to the conventional open heart mitral valve surgery. It might sound like a little thing to some of you, but it's huge in our system, and we're delighted to have that opportunity. Oh, you're acting like it's state of the state, aren't you? That's very nice. You don't have to applaud the whole time. I also want to remark on the first anniversary of the Doyle Tower and recognize our friends Dan and Roz Doyle for their generosity and the fact they won't stand, but they're here, and we appreciate them being here. And we also appreciate the fact that the Doyle Tower has allowed us to move into the next part of the future. And it's allowed us to open more single rooms and provide a quality of care that we've never been able to provide before. This is a benefit to the entire community. And if you've ever been there, I hope not as a patient, but it's a lovely facility and a beautiful place to be. And I see George and Lisa there and recognize the contribution you all have made to that facility, and we'll be talking about you more later. Also, North Bay Hospital has enjoyed the opening of the first phase of renovations to the ER, and with the new emergency department, which opened in December 2017, that featured private treatment rooms, a spacious waiting area, comfortable nature-inspired artwork, and contemporary design. The final phase has added a 15-bed unit for those who require observation or monitoring in the treatment rooms, bringing a total to 28 private treatment rooms for patients in the Newport Richey area. That is part of the hospital's 2-year, $24.7 million expansion and renovation. This is incredible. I'm looking over here at my colleague on the board, and I know you all are excited, Dr. Intel, to have that facility open and going, because it's been a long wait for you. At the Mease countryside, yep, absolutely. I know that Dr. Intel is applauding because he he has a much happier look on his face these days. At Mease countryside, that's a huge expansion for $156 million of investment to expand and renovate the facility by adding a new 4-story patient tower and a pedestrian walkway to a new 950-space parking area. If you've ever had to navigate that facility up there, you'll know that it's a real gift to be able to cross the street without running through traffic. You can cross over now, and it's really a huge benefit, providing easier access to physicians and patients alike. So that's really all I have to say. It's been a really exciting year. We are delighted to be part of the change and part of the growth, and we thank you so much for this investment in our community.
Thank you, Gay. Our foundation could not be what it is today without strong leadership. Let me introduce to you Ernestine Morgan, President and CEO of the Morton Plant Mease Healthcare Foundation. Ernestine?
Good evening, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. What does it mean to be part of a community like ours, it means you have a network of friends and neighbors that care deeply about each other and understand the importance of investing in the health and wellness of all of our community members. Our hospital's extraordinary team of physicians, nurses, administrators, team members, volunteers, and our foundation team are there for you during some of the most difficult times in your lives, such as an illness, a major injury, loss of a loved one, and during some of the happiest times in our lives, the birth of a healthy baby. Every day becomes a testament of what it means to be part of the Morton Plant Mease family, the Baycare family. 2018 was an extraordinary year for our foundation. We far exceeded our fundraising goal, raising over $14.6 million. Yes. At $14 million, it was the largest fundraising net in our history. Yes, thank you, thank you. Could not have done it without any of you. Our $5 million Morgan Hart Community Challenge, led by my husband Larry and I, and Kate Tiedemann and Ellen Cotton, was a tremendous success. With the help of Drs. Kiran and Pallavi Patel, and many of you here this evening, together we invested $7 million for Morgan Hart Hospital. From the painful loss of a very special family, Dr. Leslie Weiss and Dr. Mitchell Weiss and their two children, Hannah and Ari, rose an effort to leave a legacy in their name. To honor their memory, Leslie and Mitchell's family challenged our community with a matching gift campaign, raising over $250,000 for an advanced birthing simulator at Morton Plant Hospital to help our nurses practice responding to childbirth complications and life-threatening emergencies. Located in the Doyle Tower is the Mom and Baby unit named in their honor. In keeping with the unit's theme, this is where your story begins. Gifts from the Family Challenge also provides new baby books to families who just had a baby born at Morton Plant Hospital. Leslie was as passionate about reading to our children as Mitch was passionate about innovation. With us this evening are Leslie's mother and father, Sandy and Ed Levin, and Mitch's mother and sister, Bibby Weiss and Debbie Picker, right over there. I am pleased to announce that we have met our $2 million goal for our Nursing Excellence campaign. However, we are not stopping here. We are stretching our goal to $3 million in an effort to invest even more in our nurses. Thank you to many members here this evening. A special thank you to Sally and Doug Bailey, who I announced last year named the education building at Mease Dunedin. So thank you. And our future is bright as we launch our $10 million campaign at Mease Countryside Hospital with an extraordinary gift last year of $5 million from David and Nancy Bilheimer. Yes. David and Nancy are both extremely grateful for the extraordinary care they received for many years at Mease Dunedin, Mease Countryside, and at Morton Plant Hospital. Grateful for their care. So the tower will be named the Billheimer Tower. So thank you, David and Nancy. Aren't you glad I numbered these? Let's see. It'll be your turn soon. Our future is bright. Oh, we already did that one, yes. Here's a snapshot of the impact of your investments for the past year. Wow, look at that. On the screens, you will see the breakdown of grant dollars transferred to the hospitals for a total of $8 million. How about that? Yes. And 2018 marked a milestone for two of those programs. They both celebrated their 20th anniversary. Camp Living Springs is an adult cancer survivor retreat offered at no cost to nearly 100 campers each year, while CareLift is our free transportation service to and from medical appointments for patients, as well as rides for patients discharged from the hospital. In 2018 alone, more than 20,000 rides were provided. That is awesome. Now, programs like these would not be possible without our extraordinary volunteers. If you are a hospital volunteer, please stand so we can recognize you. I think we have several up here. Please stand so we can recognize you. Any other volunteers? We have some back there too. Thank you. Last year, over 800 volunteers contributed nearly 180,000 hours. Isn't that amazing? Yes, thank you. With a sneak peek into 2019, I am very pleased to announce that we are investing in our future through a research trial made possible by a gift from the late Wilbur and Madonna Patak. ARIAS, which stands for Atlas of Retinal Imaging in Alzheimer's Study. ARIAS directly addresses the barrier in Alzheimer's and research trials, for example, identification of early biomarkers. To quote Dr. Stuart Sinoff, our physician champion for the project, ARIAS will be a wonderful study in itself, but the engine for neurosciences research that we will be creating with the Patak family gift will have repercussions that reverberate in our community for decades. We look forward to sharing with you over the next 4 or 5 years a little more about ARIAS. Every time you make a gift to our foundation, you directly impact life-saving programs, help us acquire cutting-edge medical equipment, undertake facility upgrades, and recruit the best and brightest healthcare professionals. The return on your investments over the last 5 years represents nearly $37 million in grants to the hospitals of Morton Plant Mease. Extraordinary. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you, everyone here this evening. Really makes me proud to be here and to be part of this amazing community, and a community that I am privileged to also call home. So thank you.
Thank you, Ernestine. That was a great report, and I'm sure everyone here is pleased, and you get to see exactly where your donations go. It stays right here in our community. It's time to thank our board members who have completed their terms. Please join me in thanking them. Board members, as I call your name, please come up to the stage. Leah Berghoffen, Ruthie DuPont, Bruce Lauer, and Jim Martin. While they're walking up, we do have some folks that were unable to attend tonight. Steve Cass, Andrew Lynn, and Kate Tiedemann. Leah? Who's next? Bruce, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Cameron? And James A. Martin Jr. Thank you, Jim. Well, I hope everyone's enjoying their dinner tonight. It's very good. At this time, I'd like to bring Jim Martin back to the stage. Jim? Listen up, folks. This gets to be the real fun. This is the election. I have great news about Jim. He has been elected the newest emeritus member of our board. He has been involved with the foundation for many, many years in countless positions. He has been a member of the board multiple times. He's a past board chair, a benefactor, and is currently our secretary of the Morton Plant Mease Healthcare Foundation Board. Jim, your emeritus status is well deserved. Let's give Jim a round of applause. Now Jim has a job to do.
Thanks, Earl. You know, I've been practicing law here in Clearwater for 45 years, and I've finally found my niche. Secretary of the Morton Plant Mease Healthcare Board of Directors, the foundation. And Earl, you forgot to mention, I'm also a notary. Mr. Chairman, as provided for in the bylaws, in addition to the members to be elected here tonight by this group, the following members have been appointed by the Morton Plant Mease Healthcare Incorporated Board of Trustees. Thank you, Gay. Reappointed for a 3-year term, Dr. Scott Clavins. I'm going to ask that you hold your applause because the list is long. Reappointed for a 2-year term, Dr. Ben Whited. Reappointed immediate past chair for a 1-year term, our chairman, Earl Cooper. And as is our tradition, a new member is appointed for a 1-year term. Dr. Krista Cant, Ray Bouchard, and Nancy Pakoff. Please give them your round of applause. And Mr. Chairman, the Morton Plant Mease Healthcare Foundation Board of Directors has also slated the following individuals for election to membership this evening. For re-election to a 3-year term, James Nichols. Sidney Nowierski. For re-election to a 2-year term, John Brethauer and Peter Dimmitt. And as our tradition, new members are elected for a 1-year term, Tom Curry, Javier Zuniga, and Fred Ahari. Ex officio directors are Nancy Croy and Nicholas Griamondo, co-chairs of the Planned Giving Advisory Council. And Mr. Chairman, the following proposed slate of officers and executive committee members have been approved by the Morton Plant Mease Healthcare Foundation Board of Directors. Our officers for 2019 are Marion Rich as the chairperson, Bill Fisher, our vice chairman, Sidney Nowierski as treasurer, and Darlene Ferenz taking over this august job of secretary. At large Members of the Executive Committee are Brad Mike, Chair of the Community Impact Committee, Dwayne Houts, Chairman of the Committee on Directors, Dr. Kate Allen, physician, and John Brethauer, a board member. Mr. Chairman, I move for the acceptance of these nominees.
All those in favor of closing the nominations and directing the secretary to cast a unanimous ballot signify by answering aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The election is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Brad.
Now to the fun part of the program, the awards. First up is the Distinguished Physician Leadership Awards. In your program, you will find a brief history and criteria for the award. We have some of the past winners with us tonight. Will you please stand? To introduce this year's award winners, please welcome Dr. Jeffrey Jensen, Chief Medical Officer for Morton Plant Hospitals.
Well, good evening, everyone, and on behalf of the medical staffs of Morton Plant Mease, thank you for all you do. It's my pleasure. I think it's been almost, 5 or 6 years now that I've been up here honoring physicians with this award. And this group you will find is no different than the group and the members who stood up here tonight. First off, the Bernard Masick Award honors Bernie Masick. Bernie was a neurologist at the Mease hospitals for several years and then became a chief medical officer. I got to know Bernie very well because he kind of put me under his wing and tutelage in this position, which I've now been in over 9 years. The medical staff honored Bernie, and along with the foundation, in naming this award after Bernie. And the award winner for this year is Dr. Van Nguyen. Dr. Nguyen grew up in Kentucky and attended Western Kentucky University and received his medical degree from the University of Louisville School of Medicine. He continued at that university in his internship and residency in internal medicine, which was followed by a fellowship in cardiology, which he completed in 1995. He subsequently moved to Clearwater, joining the Heart and Vascular Institute, which is now Baycare Medical Group, Baycare Cardiology Group. He's on the staff of Mease Hospital since 1995. He's been active in the Florida Medical Association, receiving their Distinguished Physician Honor in 2004. And over the years, Dr. Nguyen has participated as a principal investigator in numerous clinical studies, served in various medical staff committees, and is currently the medical director of the cardiac rehab at Mease Hospitals. He is also serving on the Baycare Accountable Care Organization board. Dr. Nguyen.
I am happy to accept this award not as a provider, but as a team member of our great Baycare health system, which has value and mission statement to improve the health of all we serve through high quality and compassionate care with trust, respect, and dignity. I want to thank all who made this award possible today. First of all, God, who gives me the guidance and directions in doing His work. Second, my parents, who nurture, educate, and love me unconditionally. My family, who supports me through all my endeavors. Third, my group from all the physician partners, nurse practitioners, and to the best nurse, Kathy, and to the best medical assistant, Laura, for helping me and giving me the encouragement to be the best physician who I can be. Fourth, the fantastic supportive administrators, of Baycare in being there for me and providing all the necessary resources to allow me in practicing the high-quality care for our patients. Fifth, all the physician colleagues, especially Dr. Robert Entel, who has been a great friend and guidance in helping me to serve the people of our community. I wish to congratulate all of the other distinguished physician leaders today and in the past years. As leaders in medicine, we must forge ahead and accept the many upcoming challenges of healthcare in our community and within our Baycare health system. As we move forward as a healthcare community, we need to be receptive and to be ready in changing the way we learn and practicing medicine in the new environment of healthcare. It is my hope as a team member that we will embrace changes and to be proactive in providing the very best medical care for our patients. I am looking forward to collaborate with the many compassionate physician colleagues, dedicated administrators, and all supportive team members to make meaningful impact on the health, specifically cardiovascular health, of our community. Our patients will always be served with dignity of an efficient, compassionate, and high-quality medical care. Thank you and God bless. I am happy to accept this award not as a provider, but as a team member.
This next award is in honor of Mitch Weiss. What better individual to award it to than one of his colleagues, John Fisher. John attended Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas for his undergraduate studies. He then went on to attend the University of Kansas School of Medicine and subsequent residency in radiology. He then did his fellowship at Massachusetts General and Harvard Medical College and an interventional vascular radiology. Upon completion of his training, he moved to the Clearwater, joining the medical staff of Morton Plant Hospital and the Radiology Associates of Clearwater in 1990. Over the years, John has served as president of his group and as department chair, as well as served on the medical executive committee of Morton Plant Hospital.
Good evening. It is a great honor to receive the Dr. Mitchell Weiss Distinguished Physician Leadership Award. It is humbling to receive an award that was voted on by my peers and members of the foundation. Thank you to Ernestine Morgan, the foundation board, Steve Hare, and Paul Phillips for their support in gaining this recognition. It has been my dream to become a doctor for as long as I can remember. This desire was reinforced after surviving a drowning accident that occurred after a flash flood in my hometown of Kansas City when I was 15 years old. Thanks to the great care I received from the paramedics at the scene who resuscitated me, to the ICU nurses and doctors at Shawnee Mission Hospital in Kansas City, over the 3 weeks in the hospital, I was able to go on with my life fully healed and was determined to realize my goal and eventually become a physician. These experiences make lifelong impressions that shape the way you practice within your own career. While calling about a job ad during my fellowship in Boston, Dr. Herb Wallowik answered the call. He informed me that the ad was in fact 3 years old, and they weren't sure they needed another radiologist, but for the right person, they might be interested, and he invited me down for an interview. I fell in love with Morton Plant Hospital and the group, and knew that we loved the area, having vacationed here with my wife and her family for many years. I was luckily offered a position, and my wife, Sally, and I moved here in 1990 with our oldest son, Sam. That ended up being one of the best decisions of my life. You never know where life is going to take you. As we left Kansas City, our friends asked when we were coming back. In maybe a year or two, we never looked back. Radiology is unique in that you see the handiwork of the medical staff in so many ways, from a successful surgical outcome to a dramatic response to chemotherapy to the rapid improvement seen by imaging of a patient being treated in the ICU. It is an honor to work with so many talented physicians here at Morton Plant Mease. What makes them great? Their empathy, listening skills, common sense, great judgment, skilled hands, and love for being the best at their profession, with the goal of healing one patient at a time every day. A great doctor is not only well-trained and knowledgeable, but is sympathetic to the suffering of their patients, and even to be there to hold a patient's hand, to comfort them in a time of need or suffering. Being a doctor is a noble profession and a calling. Medicine is unique to other professions in that you are provided the opportunity to make a real impact and touch, alter, and improve the lives of others every day. My specialty is interventional radiology, which means performing minimally invasive procedures using imaging guidance to treat and diagnose disease. Since my arrival in 1990, the field of interventional radiology has seen great advancements, many of them pioneered right here at Morton Plant Hospital. Some examples include being one of the first hospitals in Pinellas County to open narrow to blocked arteries with a Paul Maas vascular stent, being the first site in Florida to treat aortic aneurysms by placing a recently developed, not yet FDA-cleared stent graft into the body through 2 small incisions in the groin. This was a great improvement in care compared to the old way that included multiple days in the ICU and a large scar along the abdomen. This stent graft device was pioneered and invented by Dr. Alex Balco, a brilliant vascular surgeon who practiced right here at Morton Plant Mease and with whom I had the honor of working side by side. Thanks to the support of our healthcare system, our radiology group has been provided with the most cutting edge of technology, irregardless of cost or current reimbursement, if it was in the best interest of our patients. I want to thank all of my talented group of partners or radiology associates of Clearwater. Their great skill and breadth of knowledge push me to be better every day. I also want to thank our awesome group of nurses and technologists. Examples of their great contribution to patients every day range from them comforting a scared patient about to undergo a biopsy that might show that they have cancer, to assisting a physician in removing a blood clot from the brain of a stroke victim, and thereby saving a patient from either certain death or a life with a severe disability. We have been blessed to practice in a place where we work so closely with our leadership to create a first-class radiology department. These leaders include, among others, all of our hospital and imaging center directors, including our senior administrators, including, among others, Lou Galderi, Glenn Waters, and Tommy and Zena. And I want to say that it is my great honor to be the first recipient of this Physician Leadership Award, which is now named after the late Dr. Mitchell Weiss, who was my partner, my friend, and an amazing interventional radiologist who will be sorely missed by everyone who knew him. I know if he were here now, he would be so proud to have this honor named after him. In conclusion, I would like to say to my wife, Sally, you are an amazing wife and mother, and I owe my success ultimately to your love and support over these 31 years. And to my children, Sam, Libby, and Steele, I love you all, and I'm so proud of all that you are and all that you have become.
Mitch could talk a real long time, too. The next award is in honor of Leslie Weiss. Now, I was an OB/GYN for many, many years before moving to administration, and had the pleasure of working with Leslie as a pediatrician and handing her many an infant. She was absolutely a wonderful wife, mother, pediatrician, very nurturing, very supportive of patients. And I have to say that this next individual, Stephen Shields, is that same type of individual in his profession of internal medicine. In fact, I didn't even realize how much Stephen has done over the years in medical missionary work and supporting his fellow man in the community. Stephen, you want to come up? He actually grew up in Pennsylvania, attended medical school in the Dominican Republic, and then returned to Pennsylvania for an internal medicine fellowship and residency at St. Francis General Hospital in Pittsburgh. He finished his training in 1984 and subsequently entered private practice for a few years in Pennsylvania before moving to St. Petersburg to join his sister-in-law in practice. He did that for 10 years before then moving up to Central County in Morton Plant. And we actually had a dilemma because Stephen actually wanted to be a hospitalist, and quite honestly, we didn't know what that was at that time. But we persevered, and it's grown subsequent to that. And he's been a respected member of the medical staff, serving in many fashions within the medical staff, and currently volunteers his time both locally through numerous medical missions, as I stated, and also serves with Baycare Physician Partners on their board. Stephen?
Hi, my name is Stephen Shields, and I practice as an independent internal medicine primary care physician at Morton Plant Hospital. I also serve on the board of the Baycare Physician Partners, and I'm learning more about the administrative and physician leadership than I expected. And I thought I knew a lot about medicine after studying and practicing for over 35 years. I'm privileged to be a physician and to be trusted by my patients with their burdens and fears, but also with their victories and joys. There is something special about the intimacy of sharing the details of another life in those examining and hospital rooms. And as I once heard of my responsibility for my professors, my job was to alleviate pain and allay fear and to use my medical knowledge for the good. I always try to influence my little circle of contacts for the better, one day at a time. I'm especially happy to have landed at Morton Plant Hospital and the Baycare family. Since working as a hospitalist previously and covering the hospitals in Pinellas County, I realized that in a changing medical environment, there was still a place where patient care and quality and just doing the next right thing were still being emphasized and pursued, and I chose to practice there. As I see patients back in the office after a hospital stay, I almost always hear comments about how everyone is so nice there and the care is so wonderful, from the top to the bottom. I often wondered how they hire so many exceptionally nice and professional people, but have learned since that great leadership and commitment to quality are not an accident, but are part of a respectful culture fostered throughout the Baycare network. I was at my hospital orientation 20 years ago when I was changing hospital privileges from St. Anthony's to Morton Plant, when Dr. George Morris was speaking to us, and he outlined a very interesting and different scenario here at Morton Plant that was responsible because of the foundation. Dr. Morris informed us that because of the success of the foundation, which gave strength and freedom to the hospitals in navigating and negotiating the medical, insurance, and government waters, that we have the best resources, the best support services, and the very best people, and therefore the best patient outcomes. It is my privilege to work with such an outstanding physicians network and equally outstanding support staff. Thanks to each of you. To my staff, Denise, Trista, Gianna, Emily, and Casey, we do this together, and you are what makes Team Shield so special. I thank you for your hard work and support. Thank you so much for this honor tonight. I'm truly blessed with my wife Alicia present, and I would be remiss not to acknowledge her love and support in making me look better than I am, just by knowing how to do the right thing for me and our lovely family. Thank you all again very much.
Next, for Morton Plant North Bay Hospital, Dr. Joseph Steffetti. Dr. Steffetti grew up in New York and attended college at Columbia University. He completed his medical education at at Texas Health Science Center in 1985 and completed his internship and residency in internal medicine at Brown University. This was followed by a GI fellowship at the same institution, and after completing his fellowship in 1990, he moved back to New York for a couple years as assistant attending in gastroenterology at the Long Island College Hospital. In 1992, I believe to seek the warmth of Florida, right, Steve? No, I figured. He moved to Newport Richey and joined the medical staff of then Riverside Hospital, which eventually became Morton Plant North Bay. He has served on numerous medical staff committees and in medical staff leadership as chairman of the Department of Medicine, president of the medical staff from 1997 to 2001. Joe Steffetti.
It is an honor to receive the Distinguished Physician Leadership Award. I thank the Morton Plant Mease Foundation Board, the Morton Plant Mease Board, and the North Bay Board for this honor. I thank my wife Teresa for her support and for making everything possible. I thank my children Joseph, Francesca, and Alessandra. I thank my family and friends for joining us here tonight. I could not care for my patients without the hard work of many talented people. I thank Dr. Ganikar for his expertise and support in all areas of our practice. I thank the nurses, patient care technicians, and team members at North Bay who take such great care of our patients. I thank the highly skilled professionals in the Department of Surgery who assist me in performing endoscopy. I thank the Department of Anesthesia and their team of physicians and nurse anesthetists for keeping our patients safe and comfortable during their procedures. In particular, I thank the head of anesthesia, Dr. Gubini, who I consider a role model for always staying calm under pressure and treating all patients with the utmost compassion. I thank the Department of Radiology under the leadership of Dr. Intel. Dr. Intel is a physician who always gives 110% in everything he does. He is a tremendous asset to the Morton Plant Mease system. I thank the administrative team at North Bay, in particular Sarah Nomowich and Dr. John Hafner. I thank them for always being fair, honest, and professional, and always being available to discuss matters of concern. North Bay has recently completed a major building renovation. But medical care is not just about having a beautiful physical plant. North Bay has up-to-date medical equipment, but medical care is not just about having the best equipment. North Bay has a modern electronic medical record, but medical care is not just about having a state-of-the-art information system. The heart of medicine is the relationship between a healthcare provider and a patient. The patient comes to us with pain, illness, and fear, and the healthcare provider does his or her best to relieve pain, improve health, and provide hope to the patient. Medicine has always been about that relationship and always will be. I am proud to be part of the Morton Plant Mease healthcare system that always puts patient care at the center of all that we do. Thank you all for everything you do.
Just one last comment. I hope you all heard tonight from those videos how much these physicians have joined a culture within the medical staffs and how much they appreciate the support that this community has continued to give it over the years. For all the past award winners, the present award winners tonight, they cannot thank this community, this foundation, for giving them the tools and the techniques to make it an absolutely fantastic organization to work for and practice within. I hear that over and over again, that they just enjoy working in our hospitals. You cannot repeat that if you find, excuse me, what I mean, you can repeat that all over the world. But it is when you find it, you want to stay within it, and that's how we get distinguished physicians every year. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. We're all honored to have such great physicians in our area here that is local to us and don't have to go out of our way, out of state, to receive great care. Now we move to the presentation for our foundation's highest recognition, the Golden Flame Award. Tonight, we are lucky to have some former Golden Flame recipients in the audience. Would those former recipients please stand? Our history and criteria for the Golden Flame Award can be found in your program. To introduce this year's recipient, we welcome back to the stage our CEO, Ernestine Morgan, and her husband, Larry Morgan. Ernestine and Larry will be joined by George and Carla Etheridge.
We got a script. Okay. Is ready? Hey, honey. Isn't this kind of like the Academy Awards?
Come on, Ernie, let's stay focused. We have a serious job to do tonight.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This was her idea, not mine. All kidding aside, it's a true honor to be able to speak about Lisa and George Etheridge. Anyone can read a bio, and trust me, theirs is a long one. But we want to give you a little insight into who they really are outside of what any bio might say. My relationship with George started through our mutual interest in Morton Plant Mease healthcare. We would see each other from time to time, and George always shared with me how important it was that our community continues to support the hospitals. He was always complimentary of those who provided the care and leadership of the organization. From there, it expanded to the golf course and the annual Pro-Am at Valspar, where we were partners. George is so much fun to play with, and I only wish my game was as great as his optimism. Such a positive guy. On a more serious note, George and Lisa are both the most patriotic Americans I have ever met. Lisa was campaign chair for Congressman Gus Bilirakis and is a sentinel for Heritage Action for America. They love our country and appreciate the opportunities it has afforded them and their family. And I think that explains why they are here tonight. It's called giving back. I know it's hard to believe this if you know George today, but he was really a shy guy when he was young. He overcame that shyness by selling various books and Bible study guides to door, and he gained confidence through that experience that has propelled him through life. George and Lisa are very proud Florida Gators, and that is where they met. You can see on the screens their many contributions to the University of Florida. In 2016, they received the Distinguished Alumnus Award, which is a really, really big deal. However, the Etheridge's philanthropic efforts reach far beyond the university. Through Operation Walk, which they also support, George has participated in numerous mission trips to third world countries to provide assistance to people in need. They have also made significant contributions to civic and educational organizations in Florida.
The best part of my job is the extraordinary people I get to interact with. Lisa and George are no exception. And it makes it even more special when I get to call them friends. They made their first gift to Morton Plant Mease Healthcare Foundation in 1988. And over 3 decades, Lisa and George have been constant with their philanthropy to our foundation by supporting nearly every campaign and special project we've embarked on during that time. As foundation benefactors, they put a lot of thought into their philanthropy, and we've been privileged to be part of their top priorities. We've also been privileged to have Lisa share her time and talent serving on our board and our Community Impact Committee for 13 years, the past 2 years as board emeritus. She understands how important our board's fiduciary responsibility in stewarding our donors' investments are and continues her commitment as an advocate for investing in our efforts. Lisa is a proud Planter member and Women in Philanthropy founder. Lisa is smart, articulate, and steadfast in her strong beliefs. They both continue to live by the mantra that if your house is in good order, everything will work out.
You've probably asked yourself, how were they able to support so many causes? The short answer is they earned it. George with a sales background and Lisa with her law degree, which, by the way, she received from Florida State. George and Lisa founded Precision Orthopedics in 1986. Their company specializes in the distribution of high-technology orthopedic supplies and equipment. They also own some patents. They started from the ground up, and with their ethical, patient-centered focus, the company is recognized for excellence and leadership in the industry.
They wrote the script for paying it forward, a term used for giving without expecting anything in return.
George, I want you to know, Hawk told me about that time in San Francisco that you guys took 2 taxi cabs, loaded it with 100 dinners of steak and turf, and went to the Bowery and served 100 homeless people there. That's the kind of people that George and Lisa are.
Lisa and George are loyal friends to many, and it doesn't matter what social, economic circumstances there might be. A friend of Lisa and George's are friends for life. And if any one of their friends ever needed anything, they would be there to help, no matter what. George is fondly nicknamed Generous George for not only their philanthropic endeavors, but also what they give of themselves and to their families and their friends.
When we accepted the invitation to introduce George and Lisa, we did not know how difficult it was going to be to do justice to a couple who have done so much for so many for so long. Their humility and constant praise and appreciation for others has always made them stand out in my mind.
Loyal, honest, faithful, generous, respectful, humble. All traits and values they live by and have instilled in their children. No doubt, their proudest accomplishment. Now please welcome their children, George, otherwise known as G5, and Carla Etheridge.
Thank you both. I actually learned a couple of things there. And through my experiences hearing Ernestine speak, I knew that the Morgans were going to be a tough act to follow, so here we go. It is an honor to be here with you tonight and a proud moment for my sister and I to introduce our parents. I am George Etheridge, here with my sister Carla, and we have had the privilege of meeting a number of you through our family, the Morton Plant Foundation, or other events in the community. For as long as I can remember, our parents have stressed the importance of giving back to help support institutions and charities whose goals, purposes, and values align with our own. During our childhood, our parents were always busy driving us to after-school activities. Mom was on the PTA at St. Paul's School every year, and Dad found time to coach sports teams. On top of all of this and their busy work schedule, they still managed to create time for community service and charitable involvement. As I got older, I began to realize the direct impact that all of their efforts had to positively influence other individuals and the community around them. For a couple examples, we have family friends whose children were born in the Etheridge birthing suite at the hospital. And while I was a senior at the University of Florida, fellow students took classes in the Etheridge Lecture Hall in the new Business Graduate School building. Initially, this was a little embarrassing and uncomfortable, but it quickly became an honor to be connected to the legacy my parents built. Our parents not only support the hospital financially, but also donate time and effort. Our mom served on the board of the Morton Plant Foundation starting in 2006 and continues to be on committees today. During this time, our family attended the summer retreat in 2006, and Carla and I joined our mom in 2013. At the 2013 retreat, as an adult, I paid more attention to what the board was accomplishing, not just treating the retreat like a vacation as I had previously. When we attended a dinner with the board and their families, I saw a number of the same community leaders I had met elsewhere and instantly recognized that she was a part of a distinguished group. I know she was very dedicated to her duty and was passionate about everything she could do to help the foundation. Our parents never sought out recognition for anything they did, and I have witnessed their humble leadership draw them to other incredible community leaders. They reinforce to this day that you always benefit more from giving than receiving, and the friendships they have built over time and the general respect they have of their peers is a testament to that. As a result of the values my parents instilled in us, I have followed their path by contributing to organizations including the Skip Klein Society of the Morton Plant Foundation, Copperhead Charities, which helps with fundraising efforts for the Valspar Championship, the First Tee of Tampa Bay, and Boys and Girls Clubs of Tampa Bay, as well as giving back to my alma maters, the University of Florida and the Florida State University College of Law.
Our parents always shared with us that success isn't measured by how much wealth you accumulate in your lifetime, but by how many lives you've touched along the way. I didn't realize the extent of which they supported the hospital until I interned at the foundation after my sophomore year in college. I was given a tour of the hospital my first day and was shown the Etheridge birthing suite. It turns out this was the original birthing suite, and I was the first baby born there. As part of my internship, I wrote an article about my parents' contributions to the hospital, and it was eye-opening for me to see what they had contributed. I've taken their example and gone on to volunteer and give back to organizations like Habitat for Humanity, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and the Ronald McDonald House. It's something that I enjoy and will continue to do throughout my life and instill in my future children. Growing up, we always saw our parents being thoughtful of others and making time to give back to the community, not doing it for recognition or expecting anything in return. They've always taught us to treat everyone with respect. Our dad told us every day that you can do anything you want if you set your mind to it. Our parents' success in business and their lasting influence on organizations they've supported exemplify just that. George and I are so blessed that they are our parents, and we're fortunate to have benefited from all of their lessons and the example they have set for us. They have set a high standard for us that we strive to live up to. Thank you, Mom and Dad. We love you.
Please join us now in welcoming the recipients of the 2019 Golden Flame Philanthropy Award, Lisa and George Etheridge.
Thank you very much. Well, I tried not to cry and totally mess up my makeup. But George and I do want to thank Larry and Ernestine and our children for that very thoughtful introduction. And we also would like to thank Earl and Ernestine for their exceptional leadership. We are truly honored to receive the Golden Flame Award and grateful to be able to share this moment with family, friends, other honorees, and the foundation team, as well as attendees who are supporters of Morton Plant Mease Healthcare Foundation. It is our privilege to be such a part of a philanthropic community, and we are honored to be in your presence. Thank you so much for the honor.
Having been a nurse for over 50 years, and starting in ER and then to OR and everywhere in between, from California to New York, I loved it. Your feet might hurt, your back might ache, but the appreciation you receive from caring people is well worth every minute. 17 months ago, I had to put my trust in other caregivers. In August of 2017, I noticed a lump in my breast. 14 months before, my mammogram was normal. With a million different thoughts running through my head, my gynecologist, Dr. St. John, ordered a mammogram. I got an appointment right away for an ultrasound at Susan Cheek Needler Breast Cancer Center. Each time I've entered the lobby, I've always noticed how caring and compassionate everyone was, not only to me, but everyone there, from the receptionist to the techs and physicians. I had the scan, and then the following week, the biopsy. I then met Dr. Portillo, the radiologist, who with much compassion informed me that the lesion was cancerous. The weight of his words were especially heavy, since this day was the 7th anniversary of my husband Dale's death from prostate cancer. I was ready to take action. However, this was also happening around the time of Hurricane Irma, and hospitals weren't experiencing normal operations for days. During that period of waiting, my foundation family were so comforting and ready to help in any way they could. I'll never forget walking into the foundation office and telling Yvonne and Kathy that I had breast cancer. It was through serving on the board foundation that I met my breast surgeon, Dr. Kate Allen, and I knew that I wanted her as my surgeon. From pre-admission testing to the actual surgery, Dr. Allen and her entire team were extraordinary. The breast navigator, Agnes, was a wealth of knowledge in guiding me. And every time I met with Dr. Allen and her PA, Yola, they took the time to go over each step of the way. I'm so very grateful for Dr. Allen's expertise, kindness, compassion, and friendship. The amazing nurses in pre-op, OR, and post-op were fantastic. Even the gentleman who transported me from radiology to the OR left a lasting impression. There isn't a bad apple in the whole bunch at Morton Plant. They all give you the impression they love their work, and it truly shows. And that's the general impression that everyone has who enters our great hospitals. I was discharged the same day. The pathology report couldn't have been better. The next phase of the treatment was radiation with Dr. Diaz, the medical director of Moffitt Medical Group at Morton Plant. He so carefully explained all of the various treatments and rationale for doing 10 treatments in 5 days, which was best for my type of cancer. Dr. Diaz and Dr. Nanda explained every decision with compassion, expertise, and care. I was so impressed and very relieved. Nancy, the receptionist, and Lisa, the manager of Likes Radiation, guided me through my treatments. Scott, the medical physicist, helped calibrate my radiation with pinpoint accuracy, and Karen and Jackie made sure that the markers and stents were in the exact positions each time. Dr. Diaz and his staff were meticulous in every way. The best occurred after the final radiation treatment. The whole team actually paraded in with parade music blaring, pom-poms and confetti to celebrate with me. Karen the tech reminded me to ring the traditional bell in celebration as I left. At my 14th month checkup, both Dr. Allen and Dr. Diaz shared the great news that I am still cancer-free. At every stage of my journey, I was greeted with the most amazing team of compassionate individuals who all go above and beyond. Our hospital buildings and technology are state-of-the-art, and the people inside truly make the difference. We've all seen the Baycare Humanity at Work commercials. Throughout my battle with breast cancer, I experienced it firsthand. Morton Plant Hospital took care of me, not a foundation board member or a donor, just me. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone in this room for allowing me to honor these wonderful people who have touched my heart, impacted my life, and thousands of others with their care, compassion, and expertise and kindness. Thank you, and God bless.
Well, folks, it's almost the end of the program. We've had a good time tonight, and I have one more important thing to do as chair. It's my pleasure to introduce to you our new chair, Marion Rich. Marion, congratulations. Please come up and begin your term as board chair of the Morton Plant Mease Healthcare Foundation.
What a humbling evening. And wow, Carol, thank you for sharing your extraordinary journey with us tonight. That's phenomenal. As we wind down this evening, I'd like to congratulate one more time our Golden Flame recipients, Lisa and George Etheridge. Our Distinguished Physician Leadership Award winners, Drs. Wynn, Fisher, Shields, and Staffetti. Our newest benefactors, David and Nancy Bilheimer, and the Drs. Kiran and Pallavi Patel. And finally, to our new hospital leadership, Lou Galderi and Matt Novak. We thanked a multitude of individuals tonight. However, I'd like to repeat our thanks and gratitude to the extraordinary foundation team and their extraordinary leader, Ernestine Morgan. And it was you, our community and donors, who continue to keep our hospitals at the forefront. Thank you all very much. As a conclusion to our meeting tonight and our evening, will you please welcome to the stage Scott Hamilton.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause this flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. 'Cause I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American's heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't